Hi, this video is to help you get started with setting up your home inspection report writing templates into ManageBee. Specifically, we're going to be covering template imports in this video. To get started, go to my.managebee.com, log in. On the left menu, click Templates. This will take you to the template page and will show your templates that are currently available. Click Add Template. From here, you will be presented with multiple options, including Browse the Template Store, Start from Scratch, Clone from an existing template, Import from another software, or Import from a spreadsheet. We're going to click on Import from another software. Currently, we are supporting Spectora, Home Inspector Pro, and HomeGage. If you use another service, please send us a support email at support@managebee.com or use the support ticket system. Provide us your template and we'll see what import process we can improve on. We'll be glad to help you get set up. So I'm going to start with a Spectora template. We're going to click Browse. I'm going to locate the template on my computer. Click Import. You're given options to change the name and the friendly name. The name just tells you what you are looking at from the back end. This is what you see from your account. The friendly display name, this is what your client will see. You'll want to change this name so that it reflects the relevant template and its use case. For example, if it's a home inspection template, you might want to call it a home inspection report. Or if it's a specific template for your WDI or pool inspection, garage inspection, you may want to indicate that. You can actually skip these next steps here, but for the sake of learning, we're going to go through them briefly. You have every option here in the template settings and also the report settings. So once you change it in the template, it will be saved in your template for future appointments. So when it's added to a workspace, it becomes a report, and then any setting you change within that report will only change in that report. But any setting you change in the template will be changed for future reports, not existing reports, but future reports. So with ManageBee, you have many customizations. For example, categories typically would be set up information, limitations, and deficiencies. If you wanted to add a fourth category or a fifth category, or if you wanted two categories instead of three, you can do that. Just simply click Add New and add a relevant category. A potential use case for this is to have a completely separate category for maintenance so that it would be clearly defined separate from deficiencies or recommendations. All of this is customizable. You can click to edit and you can change the name, the abbreviation, icon. I will say currently icon does not display anywhere in the report. We've built this in for future functionality. You can change the category color. So we can do that here. And you can change your comment display type. What this does is you have your standard information comments and you have your priority level comments. Information is a regular comment structure, which you can then choose multi-choice, checkbox, range, date, and a wide variety of other comment types. And this displays without the priority level indicators. Priority level indicators would add colors and give you a special display type in the report. It would also give you the ability to put recommendations and, of course, select your priority level. We're going to leave that here. Your additional options is you can actually create a category tab in the report. And so what this does is it actually shows this category behind a tab, or if you leave it off, it will show it in line, so it's not behind a tab. Here we have Hide from Grid Overview. And this is if you did not want to display this particular category and its contents in the grid overview. This is an overview that displays on every section, unless you have it hidden. So we're going to click Save Changes. So it updated the color. This color is a little close by default, so I'm going to go change this. Limitations. My personal preference is gray. Make that a little bit darker. You also have a pre-select color selection you can use here. And then click Save. All right, I like those colors there. Next, header text. You can fill in report header text and summary header text that will automatically display. I'm going to leave this blank. Some users choose to skip this and control their header text with comments. I know I did that a number of years myself. All right, now we have display options. We do have an issue here. This is actually just your regular, it says PDF. Your PDF options are down here. This is the HTML output format. You can display your counts. This displays a number at the top of the report below the header, which indicates how many comments you have in each category. Here, display priority level counts. You have display inspected item counts. So this displays a total number of items inspected. And we pulled this off of the information for items, for comments that you have in each items. By default, I leave this off. Display user signature. This will display your signature. So user signature would be for the use for home inspectors. This would be displayed on the report by their name. And that can be set up in your profile for each user. Display standards of practice. So this puts the SOP on the report. Display recommendations. So if you did not want to display your priority level comments, and I'm noticing some discrepancies here where it says display recommendations, this should be changed to or removed, because we give the user complete control over showing recommendations or not. But that would be turned on by default. Display table of contents. So this automatically adds a table of contents to the PDF with clickable links to each section. This will display to the left. Highly recommend leaving that on for your full inspection reports. And then, of course, display summary. So this would add a summary of the defects to the beginning of the report with clickable links. So this shows all of your priority level comments at the top of the full report. Display priority level counts. Page break section. So start each section at the top of a new page. I would turn this off if you were looking to eliminate additional white space. And then break page inside comments. Turn on to allow comments to span multiple pages, saving white space. Then, of course, you can add your footer text. Moving on to grid options. Using comment indicators. We'll quickly go through this process again, just to get you up to speed. Comment indicators are automatically placed on a dot with a comment count per category on the item level. So this just shows in the grid overview, and it just gives the user or the viewer, excuse me, the ability to say, hey, there's roofing and roof covering. So in the roof covering, there's 3 information comments, 1 limitation comment, and 4 deficiencies. It's a user experience feedback function that just kind of puts it in the viewer's mind that, hey, I understand that I'm about to look at these comments or recommendations, and this is what's showing, and this is what it means or where it's coming from. Use inspection status labels. So inspection status labels, think of them as the old grid type system where you have inspected, not present, and deficiency that you would be able to check. And it puts a status label in the grid overview, clearly spelling out the name: inspected, not present, or deficiency, or whatever you call them. Again, with the customization, these are highly customizable. They also can be automated. So in this example, I would automate the status label. Again, with the icon, this icon would not be functional, but in the future, we may find a use case to make this icon functional. If it's missing, it's because we chose to hide it right now until it's actually functional. So when we automate this status label, all that does is it ties a label directly to a category. When a comment is present in the category, you choose this label, or excuse me, when a comment is present in the category that you choose, this label will automatically be selected. For example, I would choose here, automate this label, and the category is information. So when there are comments in the information section, for example, roofing, if I put roof covering comments in the information section and I select those comments to be included in the report, it's going to automatically select this label. So you don't have to think about it. So if you use these inspection status labels, it's going to put those labels on the report so the user can clearly see, hey, this has been inspected. Same for inspected or not inspected. Not present. A use case for this, we also have the ability to hide from report. And all this does is automatically hides it from report. If you check not present, it's going to hide that section and its contents from the entire report. Deficiency or recommendation would be another that is great to automate. So if you select deficiencies, and again, all of this is customizable. If you change your category names, it'll show that here. So you add any deficiency or priority level comment to this deficiency section, it is going to automatically indicate that there's a deficiency. That prevents you from having to do it yourself. Now you can manually check and uncheck any status label in the report writer. Here's where you can change your priority levels. Again, you want more, you can have more. You want less, you can have less. You can change the colors. And you can choose to include in summary or make it your default priority level. What this does is when you create a new comment, it will default to your default priority level. Also, when you're importing, it may import, if it's not clearly indicated, it may import to your default priority level. Location tags. This is where you can set your default location tags so that it shows in your report writer and allows you to quickly select these location items. to display in the report. Now again, all of this is customizable after import. You can change any of these settings later on in your template settings. And then we have recommendations. Now there's an option to require recommendations. So for example, if you did not want to use recommendations or you did not want to make it required, you can deselect this option here. And of course, you can change your default recommendation. As a side note, we do have the ability to add description text to each recommendation. That is in a separate setting after you import. And what that allows you to do is to maintain your title, which again, you can change these. You can add more, or you can delete some, so you're not dealing with so many. But if you have your title and your recommendation text, then you can put content in there, possibly put links in there, and just make it clear what you are recommending. A potential use case is to use the recommendations to prevent you from having to spell out the recommendation in the description of each comment. And then we have a couple of report tools. Enable Cost Estimator. This just gives you a slide that puts a cost estimator on the report itself, or report writer. And then require completion to publish. So this basically requires you to go into every section or mark it hidden so that you can finish the report. So if you have not gone into a section, have not put any comments in there, then it's going to prevent you from publishing the report until you've done that. That's just an extra step. I'm going to disable both of these. Click Next. This here just shows your sections that were pulled from the imported. You could go in now and go through every section. So for example, I'm going to change these icons. Very soon we're going to be adding the ability to hide icons for those users who do not want to use icons. And so you could go through here and then select a relevant icon. You can also import your own icons, which is done in a separate setting field. So if you'd like to do that, you can import your own icons and they would be available in this same section. So just go through, select the icons. I know there's one in here that is relevant for grounds. There's multiple that you can choose from. And then once you're done with that, you can click Submit. Okay, your imported template is going to show here. Let's click Edit to show you what it looks like. We can see the icons that I changed. To finish the rest, everything is editable. All the settings for import are available from here. So just click on the edit icon, and then you have even additional settings that you can choose from. So then you can just go and make changes. To get to the template settings, over to the right, click on Template Settings. Here you have basic settings, icons, recommendation settings, template tools, export to spreadsheet, share template, or archive this template. Share template will allow you to send this template to another ManageBee user using their email address. And as a general overview, reports are broken up in sections. So this would be your hierarchy. We start with sections, and then from sections, you'll go into items, and then you click on each item for a set of comments. Those comments are separated by the categories that you can define. So for example, information, limitation, and deficiencies would be the categories. Again, you have all control over the customizations, what you call things, how many items you can have. So you can have multiple categories, then you can have multiple priority levels. So once you go into priority level, you can see that this is your priority level here. And again, this is all user defined. You can choose what you want it to say. You can have more if you want more. You can have less if you want less. You can set all of your defaults. So for example, I'm going to say that for this is definitely a roofer. So name, tags. Tags is just something that shows within the report writer itself. It does not show in the report. This helps you in identifying comments. So if you have the same comments or comments with similar names, you can quickly put in a tag to say which one's relevant. Tags are also searchable. So if you have a phrase that you know you're going to search on a regular basis, then you can put a tag in there, and that tag will be searchable. And so when you search it from within the report writer, it's going to bring the comments that have that tag in there. Default to check. So this automatically selects it. When a template's added to a workspace and becomes a report, it will automatically select it as in the report. And so once you generate that report, it's going to show as automatically selected. You would have to deselect it manually from the report writer if you did not want it to show. Of course, you can select your priority level recommendation, default, select recommendations because you can't have multiple, select the default location if that's relevant, and then default text. You can add a hidden note. These are notes that show within the report writer, or a default photo. A default photo is great if you're wanting to add a chart or illustration to help the viewer or your client see, hey, this is what's wrong. This is how it's supposed to be. And this will save and automatically be available when you select this comment from the report writer. So just click Save. So this is how you import your templates, change settings, and get started editing your template. Please reach out if you have any questions. We look forward to hearing from you.